I really do spend time with regard to the manifestation of this other vibration. I vibrate in that energy. And I get to, as an occupational hazard, I'm a detail person. It's required of me. And so I tend to do that with this other of, I have faith that it will manifest, and my tendency is that I have to make sure of every detail.
Let us give you something that especially this last part has revealed, and that is when we say to you that what you want, and you said it back to us so we know you know it, when we say to each other that what you want is already vibrationally achieved, and that it's just a matter of you turning toward it consistently and closing the gap. Mm-hmm. You accept that completely. Mm-hmm. When we say to you, in order to get to where you want to be, you want to close the gap. And we say to you, turn in the direction of what you want and allow the stream to carry you. We know you get all of that. Mm-hmm. When someone says, there are specific things I need to do in order to achieve something, then we can tell that they don't really trust the process. Sometimes when we talk about this emotional scale and feeling good is over here and feeling bad is over here and what you want is downstream where feeling good is, people will say things like, well, I want to figure out how to get pointed in the right direction, and because I'm in a hurry, I'll put a motor on my boat and I'll speed down there to where what I want is. And we say, then you've missed the point of this whole process, and you don't understand that the stream is a strong current and it will carry you. You don't have to put a motor on your boat. You don't have to, right now, after the fact, add specifics to anything, because you have specifically been asking incrementally as you've been sifting through the data of life. In other words, step one is ask, and you're doing that all day, every day. And you have so incrementally and for such a long time been building your picture of vibrational escrow that if we were to ask you to give us a detailed explanation of it, no one could do it, because you've been incrementally building it, and it is so detailed and so extravagant and so magnificent. There just aren't enough words or enough time to spew the words to accurately describe what's there. And you don't have to do that, because that's all step one stuff that you've already done. Step two is Source answers it, and we've gone further today in explaining that not only does Source answer it and give it, Source becomes it and holds the vibration of it so loudly that Source beams that signal, Law of Attraction answers that signal, and Source is calling you, that larger part of you is calling you to your own creation. So step one and step two are already taken place, taken care of, really, really powerfully taken care of. Your work is step three, which means you must find some way, somehow, to more frequently, more consistently be a vibrational match to what you're asking for. So what we've noticed with so many people is that as you are general in your statement, in other words, when you want something and you really want it, but you don't know how it's going to come, when it's going to come, where it's going to come from, who's going to bring it, when you begin talking those specifics about this thing, you turn upstream automatically. So for the most part, it's not always true, but for the most part, it is better to be general in your statements, because there is less resistance in a general statement than there is a really specific statement. Once you start trusting and knowing it's coming, then it's really fun to get specific. Then you get to guide your raft into little nooks and crannies. It's much more exhilarating. But in the meantime, you want to get a bead on how you feel. So when you're talking about what you want and you find yourself describing it or imagining it, and it's life-giving. In other words, if we said to you, tell us what it is that you want, and you were so eager to begin describing it, we would be able to then feel that you're really close to the manifestation of it. If people who know you find that you're almost obsessed with it and all you want to talk about is this thing that's coming, then we would know that you're really close to the manifestation of it. When it's on your mind and it feels positive when it's on your mind, you're really on the brink of it. When you start dreaming about it, when it starts showing up, when you start noticing that other people are living it, you're right on the trail of it, you see. But when you're still having to push yourself to talk about it, or when you can't find it easily in your vocabulary, then you've got some work to do. So we can feel that you know what to do. And we think that you are like so many people who we meet in gatherings like this. We think that you've been overthinking so many things for such a long time. And that's what you said when you said, I'm detailed oriented. And that's why we are always striving to bring a simplicity to all of this, not because it's simplistic, but because it is so much simpler than any of you are allowing it to be. The fact of it is, you are worthy beings who have been in these bodies long enough to have really established things that you specifically and peculiar to you are asking for, of which the universe has wholeheartedly agreed and given its undivided attention toward the achieving of. And for any of you to be disallowing yourself from things you want is just ridiculous. It's just so unnecessary. Not one of you should ever be depriving yourself with those old lazy thoughts of lack and doubt of anything that you want. But we can't all of a sudden snatch your brain and shake out all that doubt and leave you in that clear-minded place. You've got to work yourself into that vibration of knowing it. And you do it just an easy little bit at a time. So when we ask you the question, and it's such a good question, and the answer is so healthy as you hear it and then keep working to change the answer to something that feels better and better. When we ask a question like, how much of your time do you think you spend noticing what is in comparison with how much time you spend thinking about where you want to be? Most people spend so much more time noticing what is and a scanty little bit of a time thinking about things as they want them to be. Sometimes a person will say, I meditate every day, Abraham. I've been sitting in my meditation chair for an hour a day, which is about 45 minutes longer than we recommend. An hour a day for 20 years. And my dream still eludes me. There must be something screwy with this system. And we say, no, what it is that you spend an hour meditating, during which time you may get to your place of alignment if you're doing a good job of meditating by the last 5 or 10 minutes of the time. And the rest of the waking time, you're beating the drum of where you are. In other words, it's your waking mind you want to train. It's the way you look at the world that you want to train. It's finding a new worldview or a new you view. You want to see whatever it is that you're looking at through the eyes of Source, through the eyes of the Source that is you. So we speak this way to you because we know so well what's in your vibrational escrow, and we know so well that you should have every little piece of it, and we know so well that it's all lined up for you. So you just have to relax a little bit and, in your own words, be a little less detailed and reach for more thoughts that are soothing in nature, and then trust. And we know that's a word that most of you choke on. Trust. Trust. It's not easy to trust. It's so much easier to know. When you know something, oh man, that feels good. But before you know it, you gotta hope it. And we know that hoping doesn't feel nearly as good as knowing. But hoping and trusting and faithing, those words are all what you do before you know. You just keep trying to know. That's what hope and faith and trust are. I'm trying to know. I'm trying to know. I don't quite know, but I'm trying to know. But I'm on the heels of knowing. And what really is helpful when you know that you're in that hoping, wanting to know, but not yet knowing phase, is then to talk about what you do know. So what do you know? I know that I'm here in this physical body. I know that. And I think I know. It's beginning to feel so normal to me. Yeah, I do know. I know that I'm more than I see here in this physical body. I know that there was something before I got here. I do know that. Do you know that? I know that. I didn't know it for a while. I knew it, and then I didn't know it, but now I know it again. I know that I was before this physical body, and I believe that that part of me is aware of me. I know that part of me is aware of me. I've had enough experience to know that. And I've proven to myself that I can think upstream thoughts or downstream thoughts. And I've proven to myself that law of attraction is a powerful and active law. So I know about law of attraction. I know that I'm an eternal being. I believe that I'm here To create? No, I know that. I know that I'm here to create. You know a lot, don't you? You know a lot. You just don't necessarily know the most direct route from where you are to where you want to be, but do you need to know that when you know all of this other stuff? Just allow it to be. So you just talk your resistance down by talking, you talk doubt down by talking about what you do know, don't you? In other words, isn't that how you replace doubt with knowing? By, I don't know this, but I do know this, and 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 I do know this. And as you think about the things that you do know, you activate the vibration of what you do know, and now you're standing there with the question about what you don't know in a vibration of what you do know, and suddenly you now know what you just a minute ago didn't know. That's how it works. That's how you find solutions to problems and answers to questions. You think about how much you do know until you've activated that very wise feeling vibration within you, and then suddenly the answer to what you were looking for is there. And oh, isn't that a fun way? Life just keeps revealing itself to you, and as you follow that good feeling trail, you just have this wonderful, wonderful life. We want you to know, because we know. And it's so good knowing that you're not ever going to get it done. So there will never be a time when you're not reaching for something yet more. So, for example, let's say that you go to your mailbox, you have a pile of bills, you have that sick feeling in your stomach because you know you have overspent. You have more to pay than you have money with which to pay it, at least right now. And you are disappointed, maybe even fearful. You are really uneasy. And you sit to contemplate your bills, and you begin a dialogue, maybe with someone in the room, maybe in your own mind, and you say things like, I don't have enough money. Now, someone watching you from another human perspective might very well say, good for you for facing up to where you are and telling the truth about your financial plight. We would say, if you keep talking about where you are, you can't move to a more prosperous place. Every time you beat the drum of not enough money, not enough money, not enough money, even though there are piles of money waiting for you in vibrational escrow, because you've put them there every time you've asked, every time you've wanted something, every time you've felt disappointment about not enough money, you've asked for more, and the universe has lined up circumstances and events to provide it for you. But as you talk about not enough money, as you continue to carry on that dialogue that continues to cause you to feel fear or disappointment, you hold yourself in a vibration apart from the very money you've asked for. So then that's why, as we say to you, ask, and it is given. In fact, we are so sure of that, we've written a book, the best book ever written, with the best title ever given to a book. We love the title because the title tells you the whole story. When you ask, it is given. And then our human friends say, well, then where is my stuff? If I have been asking, and I know I have, and Source has been giving, and you say Source has, then where is what I've been asking for? Because it is not showing up in my experience. And we say, it is showing up in your vibrational experience, but you are preventing it from having manifestation right in front of you because you are so determined to justify why you need your stuff. When you're beating the drum of not enough stuff, there are not enough laws or actions in the world to compensate for your vibration of resistance of the abundance that you are asking for. And those that are in the vibration, whether they were born into it and just learned it from those who surrounded them, or whether they worked their way up the emotional scale, or whether they just got tired of feeling bad and reached for better feeling thoughts, those who are focused upon thoughts that make them feel good maintain a consistent vibrational alignment with everything that they've been asking for, and they continue to be receivers, blatant, obvious receivers of abundance.